Hello everyone, today we're working on quartiles, and that idea is we're going to break up our set of numbers into easy numbers that we can chew on and we can talk about instead of looking at, let's see, all 100 numbers or all 50 numbers. So the idea of quartiles, what does the word quartile refer to? What does that remind you of, a quartile? Hopefully that brings up the idea of a quarter. So we're going to break up this graph into quarters. As you can see, I have a set of numbers 1 through 9, and we broke it up into 1 quarter, 2 quarters, 3 quarters, 4 quarters, right? Into 4 separate slots. Now, a couple of these words that we know already is when I break something in half, that's called the median, right? The median is the middle value. Now, the lower quartile is the middle of my left side. See, that's the middle value. The lower quartile is the middle value of my lower side. The upper quartile is the middle of my upper side. So we're going to find the median of the median, in a sense. The median of the lower half, and then the median of the upper half. Now there's only one big trick to this that we have to be careful of, and that big trick is, we'll see right now about counting what numbers to count and what numbers not to count. So let's go ahead and do this problem. The set of numbers is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So let's find what the median is. What's the middle number? The middle number, by just crossing stuff out, is going to be 5. That's my median. So down here, I'm going to write my median value is going to be 5 because that's my middle number. Great. That wasn't hard. We've done that before. Now the next part is, what would the lower half be? What's the middle of the lower half? And what's the middle of the upper half? Because if you think of a quarter is half of a half. Let me show that in a little picture here. A quarter is half of a half, right? What's half? Sorry, it's half of a half. And then if you on the right side, if you take the half of the half, upper half, you end up with 1, 2, 3, 4 quarters. And these should all be the same size. Same, right? They're all same size. If this was 100 pieces, each of these would be 25, 25, 25, 25. They would all be the same. And our idea here is, how can we break this up in a nice, easy way to have all our values broken up into 4 sections? Well, let's go ahead and count that left side. The left side, to find the middle value here, let's do our crossing out like we did before. 1, 4, and we're left with 2 numbers. How do we find the median of those 2 middle numbers? Well, we do that by adding and then divide by 2. So the lower quartile is 2 plus 3 divided by 2. 2 plus 3 is 5, and 5 over 2 is 2.5. So the quartile here, the lower quartile, would be 2.5. And you can see when I wrote 2.5 here, it broke the numbers into 2 equal parts. On the right side, let's take a look at that. 6, 7, 8, 9. We do not count our median value. Okay, we don't count the median value. And that's just a rule we all follow. Could we have counted the median value? Sure, we could have. But a consensus of the textbook and everyone who talks about when it comes to statistics, we do not count the median. It's just a rule that we all agree on, so we all get the same answer. So 6 and 9 get canceled out, and we're left with 7 and 8. Well, what's the middle number between 7 and 8? What's the value between that? 7 plus 8, whoops. 7 plus 8 over 2 is 15 over 2, which is 7.5. So our median on our right side, our upper quartile, is 7.5. And that breaks this graph into 2 and 2 again on the right side. Okay, so let's go ahead and then work on some examples. So I have a list of numbers. So first thing you want to always look for is the median. So when I'm looking for the median, to find the median, we always start with one thing. Make sure the numbers are all in order. And in this case, these numbers here are given in order. I'm gonna write this out. Okay, these are my numbers in order. To find the median value, we're gonna go ahead and start canceling our first and our last. First and our last, first and our last. And then we end up with middle values. Okay, so our middle values here is the median. To find the median, we add them up, divide by 2. But since they are the same number, our median is 69. If you want to do our classical, we say 69 plus 69 divided by 2 is still 69. Now that we have our median, we are going to now break up the first set of numbers. And what's the middle of that? We're going to get 67. So our Q1, our first quartile, our lower quartile is 67. Our upper quartile is going to be 77. Or we can call that Q3. And that's pretty much it. Okay. Well, let's look at our next problem here. Same idea. I'm not going to have to rewrite it this time. We'll just go ahead and start canceling out. So let's first find the median. Let's go first find the middle value. Since these are already in order, whoops. The middle value is 46. So once we found the median, we do not use the median to count our lower half and upper half to find the quartile there. We do not use it. Okay. So looking at these remaining numbers, okay, which is the middle number of my lower half? The median there is the 40. So my median was 46. My lower quartile is 40 on the right side. Let's see what my upper quartile is. That's 51. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and do the next set. We'll find our median first. Find the median first. That's gonna be 9. So let's write that out. So it's the median is 9. Now to find the lower quartile and upper quartile, we want to not use that median value. So let's go draw my line here. So our median value has to be those two numbers. So our median of our lower half, so let's find the median there. 3 plus 4 divided by 2 is 7 over 2 is 3.5. Turns out our lower quartile is 3.5. Let's find our upper quartile. Oh, there's two numbers there, no surprise. Our Q3 is 11 plus 12 over 2 is 23 over 2. It's going to be 11.5. So just like our medians before, our median doesn't have to be a value on the list, but it does reflect where the middle of that set would be. So our first one was saying, hey, how do we find the median, first quartile and third quartile, or upper and lower quartiles? What happens when we have a fraction, right? When we don't have an exact number, that's fine. And then the last one here, let's go ahead and look to see that if sometimes it's repeating. So let's find a median. Bop, 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 bop. Our median is 7. Okay, which isn't a big deal. To find our lower quartile and upper quartile, remember we don't use the median, we don't count that. So to find my lower quartile, it's going to be 6. Our upper quartile, no, it's going to be 7. And it's okay that your median and your upper quartile are the same numbers. It just shows that, hey, you have a lot of 7s. 7s dominate the half of all my problems. In this case, it dominates more than half. Okay. And then the last part, last example here, is we see 74 happens a lot. So maybe that number will show up a little more often. We see our median is 74. From here, let me just box that. Let's find our lower quartile. Oops. Yep. That's my lower quartile. So the median there. So Q1 would be 72. And if I go up, our Q3, our upper quartile will be 74. Yeah, that's it. So go ahead and practice on IXL. And I think that's pretty much it.